In the second section, we are going to learn about Coorg. Coorg is coffee country, famous for its rainforest and spices. Midway between Mysore and the coastal town of Mangalore sits a piece of heaven that must have drifted from the kingdom of God. This land of rolling hills is inhabited by a proud race of martial men, beautiful women and wild creatures. Coorg or Kodagu, the smallest district of Karnataka, is home to evergreen rainforests, spices and coffee plantations. Evergreen rainforests cover 30% of this district. During the monsoons, it pours enough to keep many visitors away. The season of joy commences from September and continues till March. The weather is perfect with some showers thrown in for good measure. There are breaths of invigorating coffee estates and colonial bungalows stand tucked under tree canopies in prime corners. So children, in the beginning we are given a very good geographical account of this chapter. As Coorg is located between Mysore and Mangalore, it's said that it's a part that was drifted from heaven, and it's a land of rolling hills. It is inhabited by a proud race of martial men, beautiful women and wild creatures. Coorg or Kodagu, it's the smallest district of Karnataka. It's home to evergreen rainforests, spices and coffee plantations. About 30% of the district is covered by evergreen rainforests, and during monsoons they have very good rain. And the season of joy starts from September and continues till March. The weather is perfect in spite of some good rain. The air breathes of energetic coffee. Coffee estates and colonial bungalows are highlighted and they located under tree canopies. The fiercely independent people of Coorg are possibly of Greek or Arabic descent. As one story goes, a part of Alexander's army moved south along the coast and settled here when return became impractical. These people married amongst the locals and their culture is apparent in the martial traditions, marriage and religious rites, which are distinct from the Hindu mainstream. So children, there are two important stories about the hereditary or the descent of these people. Actually, one is about the Greek and one is about their Arabic descent. So one story is that one of the Alexander's army, they moved south and they settled there when returning to their home country was quite impossible. And these army people married women from these local people, and their children, their generation, their culture is different in martial tradition, marriage and religious rites from the Hindu mainstream. So the next theory is based on Arab origin. Okay, it is believed that the Coorg people had its origin from Arabs. The theory of Arab origin draws support from the long black coat with an embroidered waist belt worn by Kodavus, known as kufiya. It resembles the kufiya worn by the Arabs and the Kurds. Coorgi homes have a tradition of hospitality, and they are more than willing to recount numerous tales of valor related to their sons and fathers. The Coorg regiment is one of the most decorated in the Indian Army, and the first chief of the Indian Army, General Cariappa, was a Coorgi. Even now, Kodavus are the only people in India permitted to carry firearms without a license. So children, when we talk about their origin from Arab, it is said that the evidence is that they wear a long black coat with an embroidered waist belt worn by Kodavus, and it resembles the kufiya worn by Arabs. Actually, Coorgi homes a tradition of hospitality, and they have a very good account of tales of valor, the stories of courage and bravery, usually in war, related to their sons and fathers. And the Coorg regiment is one of the most decorated, means having received the maximum number of awards for bravery in Indian Army. And the first chief of the Indian Army was General Cariappa, who was a Coorgi. Even now, Kodagus are the only people in India permitted to carry firearms without a license. Very important point, children. Kodagus are the only people in India who can carry guns without any license. The river Kaveri obtains its water from the hills and forests of Coorg. Mahasir, a large freshwater fish, abound in these waters. Kingfishers dive for their catch, while squirrels and lanquets drop partially eaten fruit for the mischief of enjoying the splash and the ripple effect in the clear water. Elephants enjoy being bathed and scrubbed in the river by their mahats. So now we are given account of the river of Kaveri, which originate from the forest of Coorg, and there's a large freshwater fish Mahasir, and we have kingfishers, squirrels, lanquets, and elephants. All of them add beauty to the flora and fauna of this region. The most laid-back individuals become converts to the life of high-energy adventure with river rafting, canoeing, rappelling, rock climbing, and mountain biking. Numerous walking trails in this region are a favorite with truckers. Birds, bees, and butterflies are there to give you company. Macaques, Malabar squirrels, lanquets, and slender loris keep a watchful eye from the tree canopy. I do, however, prefer to step aside for wild elephants. The climb to the Brahmagiri Hills brings you in a panoramic view of the entire misty landscape of Coorg. A walk across the rope bridge leads to the 64-acre island of Nisargadhama. Running into the Buddhist monks from India's largest Tibetan settlement at nearby Bailakupi is a bonus. The monks in red, ochre, and yellow robes are amongst the many surprises that wait to be discovered by visitors searching for the heart and soul of India right here in Coorg. So the author further says that it's a place for adventurous people. It offers you river rafting, canoeing, rappelling, rock climbing, and mountain biking. And it's a favorite place for trekkers also. And we have birds, bees, and butterflies to give us company. The macaques, Malabar squirrels, and lanquets, and wild elephants are also there. So an important place is Brahmagiri Hills, from where you can get a very good view of the misty landscape of Coorg. And nearby you have 64-acre island of Sargadhama. Then you can move to Buddhist monks, where the India's largest Tibetan settlement at Bailakupi. So it is said that it's a place of surprises. When you go to Coorg, they will give you a lot of surprises. Okay, children? And it is said that it is the heart and soul of India. We can see the heart and soul of India at Coorg. We can see the monks in red, yellowish, orange, yellow robes and all those things. The Buddhist settlement is yet another attraction. So children, let's rewind the main points of the lesson. Coorg by Lokesh Abroad, a renowned doctor by profession and an established social worker. Coorg is a place that lies midway between Mysore and Mangalore. It looks like a piece of heaven on its earth. Coorgis or Kodavus are known for their bravery, beauty and hospitality. General Cariappa, the first chief of the Indian army, was a Coorgi. In Coorg, it rains a lot during the monsoons. There are evergreen forests on about 30% of the land. It is also the home of spices and coffee plantations. There is so much rain that the river Kaveri obtains its water from the hills and forest of Coorg. The river abounds in Mahasir, which is a large freshwater fish. It is very pleasant from September to March. There are breaths of refreshing coffee. Some people believe that the brave Coorgis are descended from the Greeks. Others believe that they are descended from the Arabs. The forests of Coorg have a rich wildlife like lanquets, squirrels, kingfishers, parrots, and elephants. Coorgis are very fond of adventure sports like rafting, canoeing, rappelling, rock climbing, and mountain biking. Beyond the Brahmagiri Hills, there is an island known as the Sargadhama Island, Here we can see the Buddhist monks clad in their typical robes. Coorg can be reached from Mangalore, Bengaluru or Mysore by road, rail or air. So that was a very detailed account of the place Coorg.
Lokesh Abrol is a renowned doctor, social worker, traveler, and writer. His writings capture the cultural and social ethos of India. He is known for his social work. His Hult Prize Foundation provides social entrepreneurship awards to young students. He has also set up multiple charitable trusts. Among them, the Vishnu Charitable Trust constructs and maintains cow shelters across India. His travelogue, Glimpses of India, Coorg, gives a detailed description of Coorg, its inhabitants, and attractions. Here is the summary of the lesson, Glimpses of India, Coorg, by Lokesh Abrol. The author describes Coorg or Kodagu as a piece of heaven descended from the heavenly kingdom. Coorg is a district of Karnataka state known for its evergreen forests, spices, and coffee plantations. The best time to visit Coorg is from September to March. The inhabitants of Coorg or Kodavus are known to be fiercely independent. There are multiple stories surrounding the ancestry of the Kodavus. According to one story, the Coorgis are descendants from the Greeks. During Alexander the Great's invasion of India, a part of the army traveled to South India and could not make their way back to the impossible terrain. So they settled in what is known now as Coorg and mingled with the locals, adopting their culture, food, and traditions. Another story surmises possible Arab descent based on the kupiya or the long black coat worn by the Kodavus, which is like the Arabic garment kufiya. The Kodavu people are also known for their hospitality and bravery. The Coorg regiment has garnered the highest number of honors in the history of Indian Army. General Cariappa, a Coorgi, was the first chief of the Indian Army. Till date, Coorgis are the only people in India allowed to carry firearms. The hills of Coorg are home to mahashir, a large freshwater fish, as well as kingfishers, squirrels, langurs, and elephants. Coorg also offers different adventure sports like river rafting, canoeing, rock and mountain climbing, rappelling, or rope climbing down hills also. These offerings would entice even the most relaxed of the people, tempting them with a spirit of adventure. One can also trek the mountains in the company of birds, bees, and butterflies, with macaws and squirrels, langurs, watching them from different trees. Finally, the author talks about the climb to Brahmagiri Hills, which provides a scenic view of Coorg and the land surrounding it. From there, a walk across the rope bridge would bring one to the island of Sargadhama, where they can meet monks from the nearby monastery. Coorg, the author says, is full of attractive surprises for any visitor looking for the heart and soul of India.